Hello everyone, I am Kapila here, your English teacher, and today we'll take up the poem The Road Not Taken, written by Robert Frost. Robert Frost was an American poet and a very celebrated one. He won 4 Pulitzer Prizes, and his famous works are Mending Wall, Fire and Ice, and the poem that we are going to read today has been read in many of the graduation ceremonies there throughout the USA. In this poem, the poet has beautifully described the dilemma that a person undergoes while he has to make choices in life. The whole poem here is an extended metaphor where the road is the metaphor for life and the forks where the road diverges into two, that is the choices that a man has in life. And how does it affect our life? So all that has been beautifully described here in this poem. Now we will read the poem and then try to understand what the poet wants us to know. How the choices that we make in life, they affect our life and be with us forever and ever. Let's start reading. 2 roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry, I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. Then took the other, just as fair, and having perhaps the better claim, because it was grassy and wanted wear, though as for that the passing there had worn them really about the same. And both that morning equally lay in leaves no step had trodden black. Oh, I kept the first for another day, yet knowing how way leads on to way, I doubted if I should ever come back. I shall be telling this with a sigh. Somewhere, ages and ages hence, 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less travelled by, and that has made all the difference. In the first stanza, the poet wants to present before us a picture where 2 roads are diverging in the woods, and the woods are yellow woods. So the poet here wants us to picturize or imagine that it's autumn and all the yellow leaves, they have fallen down there on the woods, and he's standing at a point of the road from where it divides into 2. So there he's standing. Why he's standing there? Because he's in a confusion, in a dilemma. Which road should I take? Because now the road is dividing into 2. Now, if we take this situation in our life, similarly in our life also, we come at a point where we have to make choices. We are standing at a point in our life, the road is the life, and now there are 2 choices in front of us. Which one to take? So how do we make the decision for that? What we do is, like this traveler here, as he cannot travel on both the roads together at the same time, similarly we also cannot make both the choices at the same time in our life. So what we do is that we look as far as possible there on the road, what would be there on the road and which road should I follow. Similarly in life also, before making the choice, we would see what all possibilities are there if I tread upon this road, and what all possibilities are there if I tread upon this road, or the choice rather, if I would say. And the sight, it has got a limitation. Till the undergrowth, till a certain point only the road was visible. So till there only the traveler could see. Similarly, even we can make assumptions about the possibilities, what would be happening to us in the life if we make this choice or this choice. To a certain extent only we can make such assumptions. So that is all about the first paragraph here. Here in this paragraph, he is telling us that in the yellow woods, the road is divided into two, and as a traveler he cannot travel on both the roads, so he's standing there because he has to make a choice in the life. So he's thinking as far as he could see under the undergrowth, till the undergrowth he saw there, and then now he has to make a decision which one should he take. I hope you all must have understood the first paragraph now. Now in the first paragraph he has already seen the first choice, that is the first road. Now the second road also is just as fair, it's as good as the first road. So he is looking at the second road also. He is seeing the second possibility, the second choice there in the life. So when he looks at that choice, the second one, he finds it to be more appealing because it's more grassy, and it appears to him as if it is calling him. It is wanting where? Wanting where? Alliteration is there, and wanted where means it was asking that come and wear me off. Wear here means you make me worn off. Okay, so you tread upon me. So it was having a better claim. It was much more appealing, and so the poet thought of taking the second road because it was grassy and it was having a better claim, it was appealing, and it was appearing to the poet as if it was asking to come and tread upon it. And if he looked at the people who must have traveled there on both these, then it was nearly about the same. They had been worn, both the roads had been worn nearly about the same. Now, he has seen both the roads, and both the roads were equally lying in front of him that day, and he had to make a choice that he would be treading upon which road. So, what he thought was to leave the first road for some other day, though he knew that if he would take the second road, from that road he would lead on to the other, then to the other, then to the other, and he doubted that he would never ever come back. But still he consoled himself that he would be going on the first road some other day. And he also saw that though the condition of the roads were there, the leaves were there on both the roads, yet the leaves, the yellow leaves, had not turned black on the second road because of the treading of the passengers or the travelers. The travelers had not treaded upon, walked upon these leaves, and they had not turned black because of the steps of the travelers. Rather, they had turned black on their own. The rotting of the leaves had taken place on their own. So he left the first one for some other day, that he would be walking upon it some other day. And he made a choice for himself. He chose that road which had not been treaded upon by many people. He chose that road for himself, and he had a doubt in his heart. He knew it, that he would never ever come back to that road. Maybe he wouldn't come back. Why? Because he knew in the hearts of his heart, he knew it, that this road, the one he's choosing, would be taking him to the other, and then to the other, and then to the other. Now, if we see the last paragraph, in the first three paragraphs, we've already seen what the dilemma was, how he has made the choice. Now, the last paragraph tells us that I shall be telling this with a sigh. So, he's not happy about it. He's sighing. So, ages and ages, years and years after he has made the choice, he shall be telling this to the people, that the choice that he has made, that has made the difference in his life. And he's not happy about it because he's sighing. Right? It was not that rewarding as he was thinking. Though he became, a renowned poet, he had to give away his social and personal life, friends, etc., and devote everything to literature. We can understand it in that manner. So here, the poet wants to tell us that He was not that happy about the choice that he made, but it was his own choice. He couldn't blame anyone about it. And whatever difference the life had given to him, or whatever difference was there in his life, was only because of the choice that he made. And with a regret, with unhappiness, he shall be telling this years and years after he has made the choice. Now let's see the rhyme scheme of the poem. To know the rhyme scheme of a poem, we need to read the last word of every line there. Okay, each stanza. Now here this poem is a quatrain because it has got 5 lines. 5 lines in each stanza. So we'll read the last word that is there in each line and then find out the rhyme scheme. Like in the first stanza, the word is wood, then it is both, then stood, could and growth. So would, stood and could, they are same. A and A. And both and growth, they are same in pronunciation. So B and B. So the rhyme scheme becomes A, B. Similarly, you'll find out the rhyme scheme for the other stanzas. Now let's see the poetic devices or the figures of speech in this poem. The poem has metaphor in it. It has got alliteration, it has got repetition in it, and imagery also. Now see, the whole poem is an extended metaphor here. The road here is the metaphor of life, and the folks here are the metaphor of the choices that one makes in life. Now if you see the phrase wanted where, you see, when you pronounce the first sound that it comes, that is being repeated. Wanted, were, where, were. So the sound of were and were is being repeated, and that is why when similar sounds like this are there, the repetition of the single syllable sound, that is termed as alliteration. I'll give you some more examples like shiny, shore. So sure and sure. So again, here it is alliteration. This is how you find out alliteration. So in wanted where, we've got alliteration. Similarly, we've got repetition there. Ages and ages. So the whole word is being repeated. That is termed as repetition. Okay. Now, yellow woods. Here, it presents a picture in front of our eyes of woods which are all there yellow in color because of the leaves, the ripe leaves, they have all fallen down there, and the road is all yellow. The whole woods, they are yellow because it's autumn and the leaves have fallen down. Now let's do the question answers of the poem. Question 1. Where does the traveler find himself and what problem does he face? So the traveler finds himself on a point on the road where the road diverges into two, and he faces the problem of choosing which road. Which road should he be walking upon? If we relate it to life, then the traveler is standing at a point in his life from where he has to make choices. Which choice should he be taking in his life? That would be shaping his whole future, and that is the problem in front of the traveler. Now let's see the second question. Some phrases are given over here and we have to infer the meaning. The first one is a yellow wood. So what do we understand by a yellow wood? Which is yellow in color. And why is it yellow in color? Because of the yellow leaves. So it is autumn and the leaves are all yellow. They are ripened and they are yellow in color. Next is, it was grassy and wanted where? It tells us about the condition of the road, that the road was all grassy, it was green, having grass upon it, and it was calling as the traveler as if, come and walk upon me, tread upon me. So it wanted where? It wanted itself to be worn out. Next is the passing there. The passing there is the travelers, the people who were passing from there, from that road. Next is, in leaves no steps had trodden black. This phrase tells us that these leaves had not been treaded upon by people. The people had not walked upon them, and so they were lying there, and in lying there like that only, slowly and gradually they rotted down and they became black in color. Next is how way leads on to way. This tells us that whatever choice, the second choice, like the poet here makes the second choice there, so he treads that path and he leaves that the first road for some other day. But he really knew that if he would be taking this road, from this he would be going to another, then another, then another. So this road that he had taken, or the choice that he had made in life, that would be taking him to various other places, and he would never be able to come back again to the first road. So this is how one way leads to the other. You walk on one way, from there maybe you take the other turn, then the other turn, and then the other, and you never know whether you'll be able to come back to the first road or not. Now let's see question 3. Is there any difference between the roads that the poet has described in stanzas 2 and 3 and the last 2 lines? This is the question. So there's no difference in the description of the roads there in stanzas 2 and 3. But yes, in the last 2 lines, the poet tells us about the choice that he has made in his life. That is the second road he has chosen. He has chosen the road which has not been treaded upon by many people, and that has made the difference in his life. Now the fourth question. What do you think the last 2 lines of the poem mean? The last 2 lines of the poems, they tell us that the choice that he had made, that has made a difference in his life, and he's not happy about it. He's regretful, but still he accepts that the decision was his own. Okay, he chose the road which was not treaded upon by many people. He's regretful, he's unhappy, but he is accepting the fact that yes, he made the choice for it, and that has made the difference in his life. Now if you see the next 2 questions, the questions ask you if you have ever been in such a situation where you had to make such a difficult choice, then what choice did you make and how did you make that choice? And after making that choice, were you regretful about it, or you accepted it, or you kept on thinking what would have been there if you would have made some other choice? So all that you are supposed to write in your own words there. You can download the book Beehive from the link given below in the description. That's all for now. See you in the next video.